Good evening. This is July 31st, 2024. This is a Wednesday. We had some very important data that came out today, with it being FOMC, and we also had some anticipating earnings being with Meta, who's a part of the XLC communication sector. Just a quick look at the monthly candle here for the S&P 500. Again, this is the last day of the month, really important. Had a lot of excursion to the downside for sure. Not as much volume to the top, but more on the downside in the middle for sure. We'll go into the nitty gritties this weekend, but for the most part, just want to see how we close on the monthly, which is nice. It's above the close of the prior month, but not above the high, so still important. On our weekly side, we are not done with the week, but just a glimpse of what we're looking at here. Definitely eating up, crawling back up this prior week. It's interesting to see that this is a whole inside week candle. And then we have our daily. We'll look at those two together shortly. Same thing for the NASDAQ. We have our monthly. They're still inside of their candle, a little above the halfway point. So definitely weaker for sure, but still a nice hold for July. Go down to their weekly. They had more excursion below their prior low. So as of right now, they're still one time framing lower. And then we'll go down to our daily. They are both above their 5 SMA on a daily, which is important for both for the bulls. Very strong close as well. So it's just nice to see. Engulfing candle ate up the previous 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Same for the NASDAQ. These are important areas that we've been looking at over the past couple days. Feel free to check out the videos or for myself to do my own research again. Very key areas to be over in this balanced area. Very nice. We'll need to look more at the market profile to see details of everything that's happened. High volume, over 2 million, over 750,000 for the NASDAQ. Take a quick look. The majority of the volume was done towards the highs. No one really wanted to trade down here. The majority of this was overnight, but it's very nice hold from the buyers. They took advantage of that markup. Good Lord. It was so much with the NASDAQ. It's a little tough for me to get this on my screens. I'm doing this on my TV, so just bear with me. Same thing with them. Just the range, 863. Goodness, I need to put this on. I have to rework my settings to get all that on. But all right, we will take a quick break there. We had 3.5 minutes, so we understand where we've closed on the monthly, where we are currently on the weekly. Well, and then the daily, with this possible reversal that is happening. This is done on high volume with still sellers involved. And about neutral for the NASDAQ. Take a more detailed look on the market profile. And just bear with me before we start there. Again, this is our earnings. We had our data. Take a quick look at our sector tracker. Do my best to not smack my teeth. I've been working on that. So we ended 1.6% higher for the S&P 500, with the leader being the XLK. As expected, we have our consumer discretionary, which, as a reminder, Amazon, Tesla, Home Depot. 3%, 4%, nice. Communications is definitely going to be Meta, 100%. Industrials, nice. Materials, nice, 1%. Utilities, nice. Very good. And then on the downside, not too bad. They were They were led by the other sectors. Very, very nice overall. That's the breadth that everyone was talking so much about recently. That's what we want to see. They don't have to be outliers and strong as technology, but when we go as technology goes. Hopefully, tech has had their break. But I digress. We'll look at the market profile now. Again, the majority of this is going to be in the overnight. Yeah, overnight we're starting a little above this VPOC, which is awesome to see. That's nice. So I mean, overnight we go from, oh my goodness, we're getting ready to break these lows, to Pume through this contract premium zone that we've been building volume over, which seems like we may be done with it because no one wanted to trade here at all. We got above here. This previous, this composite high volume node, this VPOC area, and they just held prices higher. We tried to go down and even touch this zone, and we just couldn't. Prices being accepted higher. It's pretty simple. Just yeah, just pretty simple. I had some other singles in here, I believe. I believe I removed them in the middle of the day. So that's how aggressive this price action was. So this is nice. We ended up eating into some of the gap that brought us into this situation, which, as you look on the daily in here, yesterday, which was this Wednesday session, we ended up hitting the low of the prior week, the 23rd. We ended up hitting that low, getting it rejected, brought back down, gapped up, pushing again. And this gap up is from the Meta earnings. So looking at this on the profile, this is that same gap. So we are indeed eating into some of these. I'm gonna remove this one. Oh yeah, we're just done with it altogether. Yeah, I didn't see the right side. Yes. So we're done with those. So the singles have been eaten up. So that is good for sure. So very nice targets and very nice hold from the S&P 500. I'll need to go in here and clean up the singles. I will do that another time. Excuse me for smacking, sucking my teeth. That's a bad habit from stuttering when I was much younger. To fill in space. Let's see. Going over to the Nasdaq. And again, I'm not doing anything from a narrative standpoint. We're just mainly looking and seeing what's well, I actually am, but we're mainly just looking and seeing what's going on. I'm not answering any questions right now. Just looking at the price action when everything is done. This is extremely long range. Again, this is almost 900 points. So that's just respect in general. Same situation. Came down from those earnings, shot up through this high volume node. A lot of little space here. Nice congestion area to get through. Burst through. We had to double check. Use it as support. A previous LIS zone that I had, we ended up getting rejected a little bit. We tried to hold in there, but we ended up getting rejected from there. Found support in that same area above this high volume zone with another leg higher to push through, and we held and started eating up some of these singles as well. These are singles from last week, from the 24th, which should have been from that gap down plus continuation. So just nice V reversal just overall, which is all that's happening. Gap down, which again, their gap down was not as much as S&P 500. Went down, went down, went down. Hold on, let's just merge this to make it a little easier to see. Again, this is the NASDAQ. Small little gap down and just push down for sure. And again, a lot of this is going to be thin structure, so nothing too surprising here. But a very nice hold from those earnings. Of course, they did break through more than the S&P 500, but regardless, very nice response. pushed over this zone. This is that high volume zone that we're looking at. So the fact that they're able to support themselves above here is really nice. And again, I realized that this changed a little bit because of the merger. So this profile is going to change. But I digress. Holding above this zone was key. And they've held, they've closed, and broke through some of those singles from that prior day. So these shorts are definitely in fear mode at this moment. So nice. Gonna do a time check. We're at 10 minutes here. So to answer my questions, where was the market coming from? That's something that we've already went through. This was the close of those earnings for Microsoft and AMD, Starbucks, I believe, and a few others. Close and with an immediate bounce, 3-minute candles. Highlighted sections is the opening of RTH. First bracket, second bracket, first 30 minutes, second 30 minutes. Shoot down, shoot up towards the close. It's a possible chance that we may rally. Short squeeze, baby. No. We shoot down. Close here. This is where I entered on my micro yesterday. And we didn't look back. Close the day. Tested, held. Nice little close. We opened up near the same. Two big engulfing candles. Very impulsive. And no one wanted to trade lower. Pretty simple. So where are we coming from? We're coming from this, which looks very similar to some of the recent action that we discussed. But we'll look at that another time. So through the overnight, it's pretty simple. We just drifted up. No real two-way trading, just straight grinding up. And it's quite impulsive as well. I was actually looking at this on the DOM as I was doing homework last night. It was extremely impulsive. Even some big size that was kind of happening overnight. And that's not something I'm used to seeing. I don't look too often, but it was interesting. It was interesting. Amazing that we popped through the high of RTH in the overnight session, which is also above the day before that, which is Monday. So of course we're not going to trade too much above there, or not of course, but this is just a long way to go from 54.35 to 55.30. That's almost 80 points in the overnight session. And we're still grinding up, finding support within the prior day levels. This is bullish as hell is my point. We're grinding all the way up into the above and leading for this whole week. We open up for RTH. It appears possible open drive, maybe open rejection, depending on what zones that you're looking at or how you have your charts. As this is indeed the balance zone that I have on my daily candles. So very consolidated, clustered area, very emotional. Lots of history here. So it looks like, okay, we may be getting dropped out of this area. But no, we have our two-way trading. Big ol' engulfing down. Finding support, possibly, on these prior day levels. Which also, I thought this was really interesting. I remember looking at this. Just a structure, something that I've put in my brain. I think this was today. This engulfing candle, which went down from 55.44 to 55.28. This low was pretty much at the open of this impulse, which was like the high, well, which was the close of this impulse here. And then just the prior highs that we were kind of beating up of for 3 hours. And we burst through. So just a little small little history for that overnight session. Just important to look at. So not only was there support from the prior days, but support with context of what's been happening in the now at this time or in retrospect. Completely catch that impulse candle. I'm sure this is scary, and we drift up higher highs, higher lows, and pretty straightforward from here. We just channel up, trading above this VWAP, find support at our IB highs, couldn't sustain, found it at the full session VWAP, close above the open, close above the IB high, and we're just waiting until FOMC. FOMC comes, seems like it's a, here we go. This seems a bit bearish in real time. People are waiting for this to drop. We're seeing signs of reversion. We're seeing signs of this and this and that. Data drops at 11 o'clock. I did not put my zones on here. I'm disappointed in that. I didn't do that in real time. And this candle is different on the NASDAQ. Ah, man. Yeah, this looks different for me now. I'm doing the same thing for this 7 a.m. data. Yeah, that's nice. 46. This is about 8 points. 8 point zone. This is the 7 a.m. Just some mental notes for myself. But yeah, FOMC, like I said, somewhat muted to a degree, but we just found balance above above the IB high. And that's really about it. I'm gonna go ahead and check time. 17.5, cool. This is the NASI. Same situation. We're not gonna go through that again. They're a little weaker, possibly, depending on how you're looking at this. But again, about the same setup. Possible open drive, but no, thwarted, reverse, much more aggressively. I need to double check and compare these two. But yeah, this shows a little more sign, a little more strength. Just gonna put a quick drawing on this 7 a.m. reading. Okay. This is the 11 o'clock. Disregard. I'm not gonna do that right now because they're about the same. I'm thinking about another day. All right, and that's really about it. Go ahead and go through my last few questions. What did the market try to accomplish today? Their goal really changed given the overnight setup. Ideally, they wanted to just protect the lows and get above this balance area. Not even both of them, just the first one would be ideal. Close above here, close above the same little area there, build volume. But this was an A+ day for the bulls. They're still on the, I don't know, the way we got down here is much different than the action that we've seen previously. The high volume, the way the ledges and the shells were being built as breaking support and using it as resistance, something that we haven't seen too often. So don't get me wrong, I think we're still balanced. I think this is I wouldn't be surprised if we end up balancing within this range, which will ultimately be a discount from all-time highs and just being discounted. What? There's no reason to guess. I can just go here. So yeah, marking this down about 1.5% for our actions. So we may find balance within 56.30s and it's 54s 30s. So about a 200 range. But we'll see how this goes. As of right now, we are at 55.88. So we have about another 50 points. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something here where we go to maybe this 56.40s. Bear with me. $43. So this is my line in the sand zone for the. I'll type this out later. I'm doing this on my TV right now. I don't have my keyboard. They're so much weaker in here. I can't really tell for the NASDAQ. So I'm not going to force that. Did I just close? I think I just closed that. Okay. Oh well, no problem. But yes, that's our day. What did the market try to accomplish? They were able to get that accomplished, so good job there. Were there any surprises in the market today? The overnight session, 100%. Surprising in hindsight, surprising in real time. And the follow up from the bulls took advantage of that markup and hoping to press it on the bears. Final question: how did the market finish the session? I mean, this is a strong close. Pierced through some prior levels, some key levels, surprised everyone. We still have earnings tomorrow. We still have earnings tomorrow, which is going to be Amazon, Apple, and Intel, Coinbase, DraftKings, Roku. This one's going to be an important one for sure. So don't get it twisted. This 100% can switch on us on a dime. So I am a believer in the Bulls. I am primarily on the long side. However, I do believe what we witnessed on how we got down here in this area was incredibly different than what we typically have seen. So I'm not saying that we're gonna revert lower or anything like that, but I do want to have respect for what the Bears did. However, that is in the past, and we're talking about now, and we're looking like we're searching for sellers, and we know how this goes. I'll leave it out here for now. I'm gonna double check my Notion and ensure there's nothing else. Get a time check with 23 minutes. Yes, this is basically it. As of tomorrow, we look forward to our ISM and construction spending, ISM manufacturing, construction spending, manufacturing PMI, U.S. productivity, and jobless claims. These can be a nice little mover depending on the situation that we have at hand. I will not be available at my screen. I'll be picking up family members. So whatever I do will be in hindsight. However, I do plan on taking a quick peek in the morning and having some in general notes, though I don't believe I'll be able to glean too much an hour before market open, which I'll have to be on the road. So this is the end of the month. Very nice from the Bulls, very nice from the Bears. It's going to be a very interesting August. Making sure I don't have anything else for today. I'm not too big on projections. I don't have anything to work with as of right now, as it's some two-way trading going on right here on the higher time frames. I tend to do a little better playing the edges, and we're going from one balance to another balance area. I'm gonna take another quick look on this composite. This is the half line. This is the half field mark. It's 55.30s, and the Bulls have took over this area by 60 points. That did not go like I thought. The Bears were able to push it down about 90 points to 100. They need to absolutely stop the Bulls from progressing higher up. Now, which way that happens, I don't know. However, the Bulls need to take this bone that they have been thrown and keep it pushing and use these levels as support. Because we have a lot of stuck Bears for sure. A lot of people are going to have a tough time being mentally agile and avoiding being biased. I'm speaking it to myself as well. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Look forward to tomorrow, mainly on Friday, because Friday is non-farm payrolls. So we are not done. It's a very busy week.